Okay, so are you ready to dive in?
Always. Hit me.
All right, let's go deep. Today, we're taking a trip to the dark web.
Ooh, mysterious.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, we're talking about that hidden corner of the internet, like the place you need special software to even find.
The place where your IP address basically disappears and you become, anonymous.
Exactly.
Mm.
And I think most people have heard the term dark web, but do we really know what goes on there?
Right. That's what we're here to find out. Is it all it's cracked up to be? Is it worse?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got this source here that talks about the dark web being a hub for things like drug trafficking and illegal trade.
Yeah, pretty heavy stuff.
So where should we even begin unpacking all of this?
Well, I think the first thing to understand is that the dark web acts like a kind of a digital black market.
Okay, so like an online marketplace, but for illegal things?
Yeah, pretty much. You can find these sophisticated online marketplaces where, users are buying and selling illegal drugs, weapons, all sorts of things.
And they're using cryptocurrency to stay hidden.
Exactly. Cryptocurrency makes it almost impossible to trace the transactions, making it harder for law enforcement to track them down.
So it sounds like it's pretty easy to get away with illegal activities on the dark web, if you know what you're doing.
Well, it's definitely more challenging for law enforcement to operate in that environment, but it's not a complete free-for-all.
Really? So they're finding ways to fight back?
Oh, absolutely. Law enforcement agencies are always coming up with new strategies and technologies to try to infiltrate these hidden networks.
I guess they have to adapt to the changing landscape, right?
Exactly. And there have been some pretty big cases where they've managed to shut down entire dark web marketplaces and arrest the people behind them.
That's good to hear. It's not a complete Wild West down there, then.
No, not at all. But there are definitely challenges. I mean, speaking of challenges, our source also mentioned the dark web as a place for, quote, protecting identities.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, obviously, criminals would want to protect their identities.
Right, exactly. So it makes you wonder, could the dark web be a place where, let's say, someone could hire a hitman?
Oh, wow. That's a chilling thought.
It is, and it's hard to say for sure how prevalent that kind of activity is, but there have been reports of people offering those kinds of services.
Yikes. So anonymity has its downsides, clearly.
For sure. And it's not just hitmen. Our source also mentioned illegal trade, which made me think, what else could they be talking about?
Yeah. Beyond drugs and weapons, what other kind of illegal stuff is being traded on the dark web?
Well, one of the big things is stolen data.
Oh, right. Like credit card numbers and social security numbers and all that?
Exactly. It's a huge problem. People's identities are stolen and sold, which can lead to all sorts of financial fraud and other issues.
It's crazy how this stuff can have such a real-world impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not even the worst of it. I mean, our source even mentioned things like organ smuggling.
Organ smuggling. Whoa.
I know, it's disturbing.
It's like something out of a movie.
I know, right? And while there's no concrete evidence that it's happening on a large scale, the possibility is there.
Wow. And then there are those rumors about red rooms.
Oh, yeah. Those are hard to even talk about.
Yeah. I mean, is there any truth to those rumors?
It's really hard to say. There's no verifiable proof. But the fact that those rumors even exist says a lot about, the potential darkness of the dark web.
Yeah. I mean, if people are even speculating about that kind of stuff, it's pretty scary.
Right, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that makes the dark web so fascinating and unsettling.
So after looking at all this, how do we even begin to make sense of the dark web? Is it good, bad?
It's not really that simple. It's not black and white. The dark web is just a tool. It's like any other tool. It can be used for good or for bad.
I see what you mean. So, how could it be used for good?
Well, for example, in countries with strict censorship, the dark web can be used to communicate freely and share information.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. It's like a way to bypass government restrictions.
Exactly. And it can also be a way for whistleblowers to share sensitive information anonymously without fear of reprisal.
So the anonymity that makes it dangerous can also make it a tool for positive change.
Precisely. The challenge is finding ways to mitigate the risks while preserving those potential benefits.
It's a complex issue, for sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, but it feels like we've only scratched the surface of this topic.
It's a deep rabbit hole, that's for sure.
No kidding. But hopefully this deep dive has given everyone a better understanding of what the dark web is really all about. And remember, knowledge is power. especially when it comes to navigating these hidden corners of the internet.
Stay curious and stay safe out there.
Great advice. Thanks for joining me on this journey.
Anytime.
And to everyone listening, thanks for tuning into this deep dive. We'll see you next time.